To go along with my prime rib, I'm going to be serving it with a Yorkshire pudding. For those of you who don't know what a Yorkshire pudding is, it's not really a pudding, it's actually a bread. And the technique for cooking this is very easy actually, and it creates these little poofy, airy type rolls, and we'll see that in the next few minutes. To start with, to make the batter, I need 4 eggs, four large eggs. The recipe calls for whole milk. I'm using evaporated milk, 3/4 of a cup. The recipe calls for a tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of water, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of flour. And all you do is combine all these ingredients, mix it up till it has the consistency of, say, a pancake batter, and let it rest for at least 30 minutes. The recipe also suggests that if you aren't going to use it immediately, you could refrigerate it for up to 3 days in an airtight container, and it will still be good. So I'm going to be using this today, so I'm just going to mix it up, set it aside, and we'll make our Yorkshire puddings closer to time to serve dinner today. So starting out, let's whisk up our eggs. Very simply done. I'm going to add the salt, continue to whisk. I'm going to add the water, and then I'm going to add the milk. And the flour. And just mix that up. See how simple? One of the other things that goes along with cooking this, I'm going to cook mine in a muffin tin. And you can use beef drippings, you can use vegetable oil, you can use butter or whatever. And you put approximately, I use approximately a tablespoon of the oil in each muffin tin. And then put that in the oven and let that get real hot, super, super hot. Just before you get to the point of it, of seeing smoke come off of it. So it's gonna be really hot. Then you take the batter and you pour enough to fill up to about 1/2 to 3/4 way up the muffin tin. Put it back in the oven at 400 degrees and let it do its thing. Okay, I just need to get this a little smoother, and we'll have our batter done. There you have it. I'm going to finish whisking this up and then move on to the next process. I have a 12-well muffin tin, and I went ahead and I added the ghee to it, and I'm using this ghee. Found it at Costco. It's a seasonal item, so you can't always find it there. This whole container was something like $18.99, whereas I know when you buy ghee in the grocery stores, you're going to be paying something like almost $10 for less than a pint. Anyway, I put in about a tablespoon, a little less than a tablespoon in each well. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to put this in a very hot oven. And I mentioned earlier that the oven is going to be 400, but I'm going to push it to 450 and get it really hot. Get this ghee really, really hot. Advantage of using ghee over just plain butter is that there are no dairy products in it, so it has a higher burning point. And when we get to putting the batter in, we're going to fill up each of these pans to about 1/2 to 3/4 of the pan, and it's going to poof and rise and have these little popovers that are just airy and buttery and good. Popovers are rising. It's interesting how some of them are higher than others at certain stages. And this is convection at 450.